Well, it's probably one of the most damning allegations against Vasundhara Raje that her son Dushyant Singh's firm Niyant Heritage received over 11.6 crore rupees over 3 years from Anand Heritage, a firm linked to Lalit Modi, in what is being called a sweet deal. Shweta Rajpal Kohli has been going through all the documents in the case and joins us now. Shweta, you've accessed not just Dushyant Singh's income tax returns, but also documents from the Registrar of Companies. What is it that they indicate?
We've managed to access both the documents filed with the Income Tax Department, the income tax returns of Dushyant Singh, Vasundhara Raje's son, as well as ROC documents that have been filed with the Registrar of Companies. Just to show you, this is a document which has been filed with the Registrar of Companies of Niyant, which is clearly a company which is owned by Dushyant Singh. And here is what this document clearly shows, that in 2008, 395 shares were allotted. We could quickly go back to that document. 395 shares were allotted, and this is the price that was paid by a firm owned by Lalit Modi. 96,190 rupees per share is what he paid. And remember, the price of this share was 10 rupees as far as Dushyant Singh and his wife is concerned, and we'll tell you how their income tax returns also show that price as per a recent document filed. So that's a figure of about 3.7 crore rupees that was pumped into this company by way of acquisition of 395 shares. Now look at this ROC document which was filed for the year 2009, and if we could highlight these points here. Another 420 shares allotted, this time again at the same price, 96,190 rupees per share, a share which was worth 10 rupees, and this takes it to a little over 4 crore rupees. So in total, 7 crore rupees is what was pumped in by Lalit Modi's firm in acquiring shares of Niyant Heritage. Now look at this document. This is the income tax return which has now been filed by Dushyant Singh. And what does this show? Well, this shows the values of bonds, debentures and shares in companies owned by both Dushyant Singh and his wife. And what is the total value that is shown in this document is for the year 2012-13. If we could bring that back very quickly, and we want to show the value that was there in that document. That's right. This is a total of 3,235 shares each which is owned, but the value is only 32,000 rupees. So a total value owned by both husband and wife, Dushyant Singh and his wife, is only 65,000 rupees. Now, why are these figures important? A total number of over 6,000 shares that have been owned by them are only worth 65,000 rupees in the company, but one share is valued at 96,000 rupees by Lalit Modi, and that's the amount he pays to acquire 815 shares in his company. What explains that? While it may be legally possible for them to explain it, it obviously smacks of a sweet deal, a money trail that went in. And now look at this document which explains what happens. The company incorporated in 2005 at 10 rupees each is what the share price was. And between 2007 and 9, shares sold at 96,000 rupees. That's a total of over 7 crore rupees which was pumped in. Remember, more money also went in by the way of an unsecured loan. So a total of 11 crore rupees is what was invested in this company. But in 2012-13, once again, the income tax return of Dushyant and his wife continues to value these shares at 10 rupees. So how do we explain this? In 1 year, the value of that share is 96,000 rupees, and later the value of the share is 10 rupees once again. Now look at this. This really explains. If we decide to value Dushyant and his wife's share as per the amount at which Lalit Modi has pumped in money, their investment should be showing as 62 crore rupees. But what does the ITR show? Only 65,000 rupees. So compare the figures, 65,000 versus 62 crores, which should be the valuation. This is if we value it at the price at which Lalit Modi has been given those shares. And at 10 rupees, 65,000 rupees is what his IT returns for the year 2012-13 show. So clearly, big question marks, some of these things which are part of the complaint which has been filed with the Enforcement Directorate, and of course now with NDTV accessing both the ROC documents which are filed with the ministry as well as the income tax returns. Now this money trail is quite clear. But remember, we've got a clarification now coming from Dushyant Singh, and this is what he has said in his clarification, saying that this is what his defense is, if we could quickly pull that up, saying that the transactions have been done in accordance with the Companies Act and the IT rules. That is his defense, saying that he has not done anything illegal nor committed any irregularity. Transactions as per accordance with Companies Act and IT rules. So this is a statement which has been issued by Dushyant Singh, saying that of course that he has done nothing illegal, but big question marks really remain, and those documents now proving some of those charges in the complaint.
Shweta, thanks so much for joining us with those details. And clearly now that is going to be the focus of the Enforcement Directorate's investigations, as Sunetra Chaudhary finds out.
NDTV has learned that the Enforcement Directorate has already drafted a letter. They're writing to Income Tax Department to seek all the details about Dushyant Singh's company and also Lalit Modi's company. Remember, Lalit Modi's company, Ananda Heritage, is already the accused one. They're looking at it for all the investment that it got since its inception in 2007 and the FDI it got from a Mauritius-based company, which they say violated Forex regulations. In fact, sources also told us that ever since, the directors of this company are Lalit Modi, his wife, and of course Anup Bateria, another independent director who's already being questioned by the Enforcement Directorate. And sources tell us that ever since it started in 2007, there has been no activity in this company, and they say that actually is a huge FEMA violation. When we asked them specifically, when we asked Enforcement Directorate specifically about Dushyant Singh and his company Nehan's involvement and how the Enforcement Directorate was looking at it, they said at some point they will be calling in Dushyant Singh for examination, but it will only be to corroborate and ask him about the loan his company got of 11 crores from Lalit Modi. At this point, they're saying they're not looking at his role as an accused. However, they're not ruling out that once they look at the income tax returns, that if there's anything amiss, other agencies like the income tax may investigate it. Back to you.